Hello, everyone. Welcome to new member orientation. Tonight's session is hosted by me, co-director Justin McQuinding, and our other co-director, Alan Farley. We'll go ahead and introduce ourselves. So first off, we'll give you a little bit more info about who we are. For me, I'm Justin McQuinding. How I heard about JCI, I was looking for opportunities to get involved in the community after college. I went online on the city website and my local chapter was listed. So I reached out to the chapter president. He brought me in and the rest was history. So for my journey, it was JCI Santa Clarita in California. I became an executive vice president, not right away, but that was one of my first roles. Moved up to the state as executive vice president and then state president. And then from there, I moved up to the national level, where I became one of the program managers, then a national vice president, and here I am today as co-director of membership and IJC because it gives me opportunities to serve my community. And I will turn it over to co-director Alan to share his story.
Hey everyone. Yes, my name's Alan Farley, and if you can't tell with the southern accent, I am from the great state of Georgia. My story is not as great. To join the JCs, I joined to get a discount at the local fair that our local chapter hosted. It was cheaper to be a member than it was to pay for all my kids to join or to go to the fair. So why not? And then I got to noticing all the different things that they do in the organization and do around in our community. And I was just like, wow, this is pretty cool. And so then a few years later, I stepped up into the community aspect of the community program manager for my local chapter, which is Swainsboro, Georgia. And then we, next thing I know, I was asked to join the state board. I went from membership to state president, and then I guess people still seeing stuff in me and they wanted me to move forward. So then I was a program manager for JCI USA. And then I was national vice president. And now here I am at co MDD. And that's the very fast version of that.
Co-director Allen brings up a good point. In JCI, a lot of people will see potential in you to move up and move forward. And when you meet a lot of people throughout the organization, they'll tell you the same thing, that other people saw potential in you and that just inspired you to keep moving forward. So thank you, co-director Allen. Next up, we do have a special guest with us, our national president, Nate Martin.
All right, aloha everyone. Again, my name is Nate Martin, and I have the honor of serving as your 103rd National President for JCI USA. First, I wanted to say a big mahalo or thank you to our two membership development directors for hosting this evening's new member orientation. And a special mahalo to each of you for making the best decision to become a member of the greatest young persons organization in the world. A little bit about me. I hail from the great state of Hawaii. I joined this organization playing volleyball actually in 2006. So a little over 16, 17 years ago. I didn't know all the benefits that this organization had to offer until I started getting involved with community impact projects. I participated in Meals on Wheels and Special Olympics. And through those community impact projects, I learned that there was more to this organization than just the community impact projects. So I started getting involved with my local chapter, the Rising Phoenix JCs. Then I started serving on their board. So in 2012, I was membership vice president and secretary or treasurer. And then I started to learn more about our organization and all the many benefits it offered our membership, especially this leadership development opportunities. So I moved my way up into the organization, became chapter president 2013. I moved on to the state level. So I was part of the Hawaii JCs at the time became a state president in 2017, moved up to the national level, similar to MDD Jesper, as well as the MDD Allen, moved up to the national level, became a national vice president, served as national chaplain, actually moved on to the international side of our organization, and I was American Development Council Commissioner in 2021. And in 2022, so last year, I had the honor of serving as your Deputy National President, and again this year in 2023 as your National President. So again, as you know, or what you'll come to know is that the JCs is an organization in which members such as yourselves get access to a multitude of benefits. We pride ourselves over 4 areas of opportunity that includes individual development or our skills development or our personal and growth development side of our organization. We also have our community development or our community impact projects. Um, we also have business development and entrepreneurship. And then we also have international development, which includes our networking side of our organization. So, again, for whatever reason you got part of this organization through volleyball, through discounts, because somebody asked you to come to a meeting, whatever it will be, you'll find that you'll be able to obtain the unique membership experience and open yourselves up to all the many benefits and possibilities that you never thought possible through this organization. So you, the member, is the most important person of our organization. It's not me as your national president. It's not the membership development directors. It's you. So I challenge you to make the most out of your JC membership. So take advantage of all the leadership and development opportunities we provide, and truly be the change makers that you are. Again, this is a great organization. As you can see, I have a passion for it. I've been in this organization for 17 years. Never thought I would be national president, but here I am serving as your national president because of all the many things that this organization has to offer us as members. So again, this is going to be a great orientation that will show you a taste of what our organization is all about. So with that, I'm going to turn it back over to our MDDs to show all the things that you as JCs get to experience by being part of our membership. So again, thank you so much for allowing me this opportunity to be with you. Thank you so much for being with us this evening, and I'll turn it back over to our MDDs.
Thank you, National President Nate. Actually, I do have one more question for you. I was curious, could you share one more highlight or memory in the JCs that just inspired you to become a stronger leader?
I don't know a particular experience, but I think what led me to continue on through my JC journey is I had this individual who always pushed my potential. And so hence my theme, my national theme for this year is pushing potential. But this particular individual saw something in me when I was just a member playing volleyball on the opposite side of the courts for her. But she always thought that I think this person can do more. So she's like, hey, can you get involved with this? Hey, can you do this? We had a picnic day at the beach. Hey, can you bring the ice for the cooler? So all these little things helped me along the way. And next time he's like, hey, do you want to serve on the board? Hey, do you want to do this? So again, pushing me all along the way. And I saw from all that pushing of my potential that this organization was something great. And then now that I get the opportunity of serving as your national president, it's now my turn to give back to you as the membership or to this organization and to push your potential. So again, all those little things that happened along the way may not be specific in nature, but again, it helped me to become who I am today, serving this organization for 17 years and becoming your national president. So hopefully you guys get all the same member experience and that we as a national organization help push your potential to all the many benefits that JCI offers its members.
Thank you, National President Nate. Great example to use your theme, push your potential. Once again, National President Nate. So we'd like to hear from everyone else. How did you hear about JCI and what made you join? So by the way, our presentations tend to be interactive. So we'd love to hear from you. First person I'd love to hear from is Arby from New York. Tell us your story.
Hi guys, doing? So actually, my work friend Jesse Rivera is a member of the Philippine New York JCI. So he just invited me in. So we'll see how it goes, basically.
That's awesome. How long have you been a member?
Just this week. So
Wow, very new. That is awesome.
very new, yes.
Very impressive. Thank you. Next up, I see from Hawaii. Let's hear from Tony.
Hello. My friend from college, she asked me to join, and I was like, okay, and I joined, and then I found out she wasn't a member, so I was like, okay, what's the deal there? So I had to beg her to like join to this organization that I had already joined. And then so that was November, and now I am this year's president for the Filipino JCs of Honolulu. So yeah, man.
Wow, thank you, Tony. Next
Nice.
up, I'd like to hear from Wyoming. Oliver, let's hear your story.
Hi. I had a friend and coworker bug me until I joined. Pretty much just kept annoying me and finally made me join. And I've been a member since October.
Nice. JCs tend to be a little pushy every now and then. So
Well, it worked.
Thank you, Oliver. Next up, I'd like to hear from Haley from Missouri.
Hi, I joined because my aunt is the president of the chapter and she begged me to join. I just turned 18, so I joined in January.
oh, nice. Well,
Plenty of
congratulations.
opportunities.
Thank you.
Plenty of opportunities to grow into a stronger leader as you grow through the years. Let's do a couple more. I'd like to hear from Abigail from Montana.
So I joined the JCs because I was bored and I had a negative look on other people in the world and I needed some new light. And I've been a member since 2018.
What's your position now, Abby?
I am the Montana State membership VP.
Thank you.
I knew
thank
that.
you.
I just wanted to talk a little bit more. So-
For the second year in a row. So
well, somebody's seen potential. That's what it is. See,
yeah, I'm already I'm hearing some truth already in this new membership orientation.
Let's hear from a few more. I see Brandon Rope from California. Let's hear your story.
Hey guys, mine's kind of weird to be honest. So started a job for the state senate. My boss was the senator's wife. When I moved down closer to my local chapter, she told me I should get involved. Didn't really know anyone in the chapter. Admittedly, I actually signed up just so I could throw it on my resume because I figured, hey, it would look good. Got invited out to one of our monthly meetings and been a JC now a little over a year, and I'm currently the VP of membership for my chapter. So, you know what, I can honestly say, been part of a lot of organizations, both political and non, but yeah, JCI has definitely been one of the best I've been a part of. Made some great friends, and so far I'm in it for the long haul.
Awesome. Thank you,
that's
Brandon.
awesome.
Let's hear from Shelby from South Carolina.
Hi. I became a JC initially because I helped out with the haunted attraction that they run every year. I actually met them in high school, so the JCs came in and presented like who they are, what they do, and that they needed volunteers for their season. So I started doing it then and just kind of hung around pretty much all of my teenage years, and then got serious about it in my early 20s. So finally joined, became a part of everything, and now I'm the chapter president for the KC West Columbia JCs and the state's programming vice president.
Already stepping up to leadership. Let's hear from Sean Cannon, I believe from California. Is that correct?
Yes, sir, that's correct. So actually, Brandon from California as well is the one
What's
that
up,
told me. That's the one that told me about JC. At first, he was bragging about all the great things that JC Santa Clarita was doing, and I was getting jealous. And then he had this crazy idea. He was like, "Hey, we're trying to open up a chapter in the AB." And after hearing more about, over this time about JCI and his vision and stuff like that, I realized that I was always a JCI member at heart. I just didn't know it yet. So I'm really excited.
Thank you. And I see
That is awesome.
we have a great collection of people from around the country. For Wisconsin, let's hear from Amanda.
I've been a member since 2018. I'm currently the chairman of the board for my local chapter in La Crosse, Wisconsin. I joined because our local chapter used to do pub crawls a lot. And they were really fun, like bar Olympic type style things. And then our neighbors, when we bought a house, actually were members, and they said, hey, you should come help us bartend at our festival for 4th of July. And it was a lot of fun, and we met a lot of really cool people. So we decided to join right after, my husband and myself.
Awesome. Thank you, Amanda.
That's awesome.
Let's hear from Abby Smith.
Hi, I joined JCI in Santa Clarita about a month ago. Our local chapter actually hosts a 40 under 40 celebration each year. And so as one of the honorees, a membership was one of the things, or a year membership was one of the things that I earned from receiving that honor. So that's what made me join.
Awesome. Thank you, Abby. Next up, we do have our international vice president on the call, Nikki Shaw. We'd be excited to hear your story.
I had to figure out how to unmute first. Hello, everyone. I am Nikki Shaw, and I'm from Iowa, and I joined because a coworker knew I was looking for like-minded people, and she had been a JC in the past, and she told me to check it out. So here I am.
Thank you.
Hey, Nikki.
Hey.
Thank you, IVP Nikki. We also have our state president from Missouri, Scott. We'd like to hear your story.
All right. I joined back in 2018. I just moved to the St. Louis area and was not sure how you make friends as a almost 30-year-old. So I did a little Googling and stumbled across the JCs in St. Charles. And I joined and somehow have I guess I'm a glutton for punishment because I just keep acquiring these new titles, and all I ever wanted to do was just be a general member, but people just keep asking me to do things. And I would challenge you guys that are new in the organization, don't be afraid of saying no. Nate mentioned his theme for the year, so I'm going to shamelessly plug mine. It's failing forward. This organization gives you the perfect opportunity to take a chance and try something, and even if you fail, it doesn't really affect your day-to-day. But yeah, that's my story. Sorry for the shameless plug.
Thank you, State President Scott. Would anyone else like to go before we go on to the next section? But I'd like to call one more. Let's hear from New York, Chapter President JP. Let's hear your story.
Sorry, I just plugged in. What was the whole topic? So I could be in sync.
How did you hear about JCI and what made you join?
All right, so apparently I was brought by my good friend, Governor past State President April Aquino. So she just told me that there's, a general membership going on with JCI, which I was clueless at that time. And I told myself, you know what, it's not gonna hurt, right? So I did join, and then I was there, just listened the whole entire time during their general membership. And during that time, I was asking questions, exactly what is JCI and what does JCI do? So they were giving me some insights and ideas what they do. And I'm kind of like the idea because my heart and I always have a passion to serve the community and, try to be an inspiration to young individuals just like me. But then after the GMM, it took me about probably 3 months for me to join the organization. And that was February 25th, 2018, which I celebrated my induction exactly 5 years after last week. So then when I joined, I never thought that JCI could actually help me grow personally and professionally. So especially building up the confidence within you. Proper way to talk in public, be able to use the skills and the tools that JCI have taught me and actually related to my professional career as well. As a matter of fact, I was able to grow with JCI the same way how I grew in my professional career, because I use all the what I've thought, the knowledge from JCI into, like I said, into my personal and professional life. That's all.
Thank you, President JP. I see Shane's hand is up. Shane, go ahead.
Yes, my name is Shane Baltnight, and I am of the Newberry JCs. So I started coming to the JC meetings because I had a ride that was part of the JCs and joined in. When that happened, I was able to sit around the table and actually look and see exactly what the JCs were about. And one thing that really gave me a purpose was seeing the Camp Hope, hearing about Camp Hope and seeing what it was about, because kids have always been a driving factor in my life. For me to say that it gave me a purpose again in life, it really did. And with that, I now feel as if it's the professionalism, the networking, and really just the family oriented environment of people who actually care for people, and an organization that is to help out the community, because I've always been one of those that has been about helping others a lot of times before even helping myself. And in that, the JCs has really given me a purpose in life, a drive to get up every morning and just be a part of something that is bigger than just a small little miniature microscopic thing in life. Jobs and everything, they're very minor. Dealing when you have an environment that you are trying, a community that you are striving to make better, so that it could help others at the end of the day.
Absolutely.
Thank you, Shane.
And Shane, it's good to see. Well, your camera's off, but good to see you again.
Thank you, Shane. As we've heard from everyone, wow, just wow. So many reasons to join the JCs and so many reasons to keep growing as a professional in your personal and just all parts of your lives. Co-Director Allen, what are your thoughts on hearing all these stories tonight?
I'm loving it. And one thing that I've noticed is that there's few similarities, but almost everybody's they've got a different story, right? But we're all part of the same organization. And see, that's the kicker. That's what I like about this organization, is that you've got people from all walks of life and just different reasons for even joining. And then we all come together and we try to better ourselves, better our communities. And it's awesome. And we enjoy doing it, and we have fun while we do. And so I love it. I love the different variety that we have on this call. Actually, it's pretty awesome. We've got some that just joined this year, and then we've got some that's been in the organization for years, and it's amazing to see it. I love it.
Well said, Co-Director Allen, and thank you everyone for sharing. And there will be plenty more opportunities to hear more from you tonight. So as we move in, we have a pop quiz. I didn't think anyone was expecting that tonight, but we'll see how this goes. All right, everyone. So with your chat, we want you to open that up for this quick pop quiz. Everyone's getting quiz tonight. Everyone ready? Everyone got your chat boxes open? Here's the question. What do we offer? A, networking opportunities. B, personal and professional development. C, community impact. Or D, all of the above. Pop quiz. What do we offer?
What do y'all think?
This one's making me think, Co-Director Allen.
I think I've definitely seen the networking opportunities. That's one thing that's driven me, since beyond my local chapter is just all the different people and organizations that I get to meet in different ways that they operate. It's amazing.
On that note, I am seeing the personal and professional development as well. Ooh.
Yeah, that's I definitely see that one as well. You're right. How about that community impact though?
This one.
Do you think we've got that one?
Tony just wrote in the chat, this one's tough. This one's really tough. I'm just seeing so many aspects. But what could it be?
I'm curious, but I'm pretty sure I've seen it all in the chat because I had it up. I'm pretty sure everybody's going with D.
Congrats, everyone. The answer is D. We offer network opportunities, professional and personal development, and community impact. Great work, everyone. It was a tough one, Kodak Allen. It was. That
was a tough decision. They all looked right. So why not go with D?
That's right. Thank you, everyone. So welcome to the JCI movement. So our mission statement is to provide development opportunities that empower young people to create positive change. Our vision is to be the foremost global network of young leaders. So let's tell you a little bit of our history. In 1915, our founder, Henry Giesenbeert, he had a group of about maybe 30-something members, and he formed the Young Men's Progressive Civic Association. Then, a few years later, in 1920, about members from 41 different cities, they all came together and started their first national convention. And by then, we were recognized as the United States Junior Chamber of Commerce. And then in 1951, the United Nations gave us special consultative status, which is a formal partnership between us and the United Nations. And if you look closely at the logo for JCI, the shield, that's actually the same logo as United Nations. So that formalizes our partnerships between us. And I see a hand up from President JP. Go ahead, President JP.
Sorry, I pressed it by mistake. Sorry.
Oh, okay. But yes, this is a little bit of our early history. Next up, let's talk about our early impact. In 1923, JCs really pushed out an effort for getting out the vote. I believe when I read somewhere, there were 12 million more people who were registered to vote. Is it all through the JCs? Maybe, but
maybe not.
Still,
you don't know.
That's a lot of credit to give to an organization that really pushed the effort in getting more people out to the polls. In 1927, the JCs teamed up with Charles Lindbergh. He was a famous aviator. What we did was we put the effort into launching the US airmail service. And then in 1936, the National Wildlife Federation was created with the support of JCI. And then 1939, Safety with Light, that is a program where many streetlights, thousands actually, were donated to communities through the efforts of JCI. And then 1959, JCI was a very strong advocate for promoting statehood for Alaska and Hawaii. So as you can see, JCI has had a very remarkable history.
I feel like they've been very impactful.
Lots of impact. They've pushed their potential. Next, we have our alumni. And as you can see in the top row, we've had United States presidents serve on our ranks. And in the bottom, we've also had significant leaders, Vice President Al Gore, Kofi Annan, who was the Secretary General for the United Nations. And you can see in the bottom, we have Tom Monahan. He is actually the founder of Domino's Pizza. He used something called a project management guide. That is something we use in JCI to put together a program. He actually used that to build Domino's. So the things you learn in JCI can really take you far in life. And at the very right, we have Larry Bird from the Boston Celtics. And these are a sample of our alumni. There are plenty more leaders who have grown through our ranks. Next up, is our organizational structure. So there are different levels of membership. The first level is JCI, which is our national or international organization,
It's like
which
our
is
international.
Junior Chamber International. That's what JCI stands for. Below that, it's the national organization. For us, it's JCI USA. And then below that, it's JCI, your state. So if you're from Missouri, JCI Missouri. If you're from California, JCI California. And then below that is your local organization. So for me, JCI Santa Clarita. For co-director Allen, JCI Swensboro. And then we have chapters all across the nation.
And I want to just put one note to that. Can we go back to this slide?
Yes.
If you notice how big the local organization part is versus the JCI USA or the JCI, y'all are our foundation. Our members and our local chapters are our foundation. Without y'all, we're not, we don't have a state. We don't have a national organization. We don't have an international organization. So, I mean, new members and just membership in general, they are so important to this organization. So just want to throw that out there. Sorry.
That's an excellent point. And as you can see, yes, as co-director Allen said, local chapters do build a foundation of our organization, because what you do really empowers what your state, what our national organization and our international organization does, and what we provide. It's the efforts of the local chapter that are really bringing life to our overall organization. And as you can see, with the national level, our national footprint, we have active chapters in over 30 states. So if you happen to be traveling across the world, yes, we do have chapters around the world, but if you're traveling even the United States, there are many people you can reach out to. If you want to get to California, if you want to get to Michigan, New York, Florida, we have chapters all over. And there are opportunities to reach out, especially through social media. So if there's ever the opportunity for you to reach outside of your local chapter, they're out there for you. Board of Directors, we have members that include our state presidents, our executive committee, our deputy national president. What they do is they have the ability to vote and update bylaws and policies for our organization. So if you want to create a larger impact in our organization and for your leadership, I encourage you to move up and reach higher levels of these formal ranks in our organization. So our national programs. First off, we have ambassadorships and senatorships. What an ambassadorship is, it's the highest honor that you can receive at the national level. And for a senatorship, it is the highest level you can reach overall internationally. So these awards are given to those who have really dedicated so much time and effort into this organization. And co-director Allen, your thoughts on ambassadorships and senatorships?
I mean, it is a great one. Once you become this, they're a great resource to tap into. But also, I mean, it's a great achievement to show your lineage, to show how much work you've put into this organization, to honor somebody with these awards and these, senatorships and ambassadorships. It's just it's a way of showing appreciation for one, but also, like I said at the very beginning of this, they're also a resource. So, I mean, there's ambassadors and senators all over the U.S. that you can lean on and get advice from as well. So,
yes. And for everyone on this call, I actually want you to make it a goal to become an ambassador and a senator, because when you put all the effort into this organization, you'll be rewarded with that recognition for putting that work in. Next up, we have competitions. If you enjoy public speaking, you can join Speak Up. If you enjoy writing, we have a program called Write Up. If you enjoy debating, we have our debate competition. And if you enjoy being challenged in the professional world as far as job interviews and resumes and your LinkedIn profile, we have a competition called You're Hired. So there are opportunities to develop yourself in different ways: public speaking, writing, debating, and putting yourself out in the job market, but not an actual job market. You can do it through JCI. That way you get some feedback before you actually put yourself out there.
That's what I was gonna say, is that, you know, the great thing about competitions within JCI USA is you get those speaking skills, you get those writing skills, you get, you know, the job interview skills through competitions without it actually affecting your job or your personal life. Here you get critique. Yes. First speech I ever done, horrific. It was terrible. Eventually though, after competing and doing a few things, it got easier and it got more enjoyable to do. And so it's definitely, if you've never done a competition, or if it's your first time hearing about a competition, when they are presented to you, I recommend absolutely taking advantage of those, because you never know what you can do. I had a member of my local chapter a few years ago. He was our outgoing president for my local chapter. I hate to reminisce for a second, but just showing how much this can impact somebody. When he was going on stage to give his outgoing speech, another member came up and said, did you read his speech? I said, no. I said, we're going to see how it goes. One of the best speeches I've ever heard in my life. Now, when he first joined this organization, he didn't want to talk to anybody. So it was amazing to see that transition from that. And that's the kind of skills that you get from competitions and just this organization overall. So, sorry, next.
Yes, good point. But as IVP Nikki said in the chat, when you win on the national level, then you can compete at the international level. So there's that opportunity to travel and compete. And then I see a note from National President Nate. He got a lot more comfortable with public speaking because of JCI. And then I see a State President Emily mentioned that she can vouch for Co-Director Allen's statement for personal growth. All right, thank you for sharing, everyone. Next, we have our passport to civic leadership, which is also known as the 10th degree. It is a list of items that you go through that will do two things. One, it'll make you a better leader. And two, it will show you steps in becoming a more effective member in JCI. And then when you go through all those steps, you'll be recognized at our national convention with something called the 10th degree.
Yeah, and it's literally, I mean, it goes through different steps of just attending meetings to eventually chairing projects, chairing projects that across the state to get involved with, you know, this chapter and the next chapter, that's, you know, a neighboring chapter. So it progressively moves you along so that you're not just being stagnant within the organization. Because one of the biggest things I hear out of most leaders that I see in this organization is, I wish I would have joined earlier. I wish I would have known all these opportunities was there earlier. So, and that passports is literally a step-by-step on how to be engaged and how to stay moving forward, besides that one person or two people or a whole chapter that's pushing you forward. Well, pushing your potential.
I hear that a lot too. People wishing that they had joined earlier, they had gotten involved earlier, and, you know, wishing to move up much sooner. So that passport, take advantage of that, because it gives you those opportunities to really grow through the organization. And the next up, we have Civic Leadership Certification, which is CLC. That is similar to passport, but instead of the individual level, it is attached to your chapter. So for civic leadership, encourage your local chapters to participate, because when they go through that program, they grow, one, as a chapter, and they become more effective and efficient. And then I see a question from State President Emily for Passport and CLC. We will keep our members posted. Our MVP and program managers are continuing to update it, so it's ready for this year. So we will keep you posted, but great question, State President Emily. Thumbs up? Yes, thumbs up. Thank you. Let's see. So yes, adding to National President Nate's note, revamped versions of Passport and CLC will be coming up soon. So yes, stay tuned. On our list of next programs, we have something called Hobie, and I will actually turn this over to Co-Director Allen, who was in charge of partnerships as National Vice President.
I say this is one of our partnerships, but it's also it's the Hugh O'Brien Youth Leadership, and what it is they set up different, basically being a JC, but these young leaders have to become, have to have so many service hours. People have to recommend. The only difference is people have to recommend them to join this organization. It's only for juniors and seniors, I believe, and it's basically grooming them to be JCs. It's a different organization. We combine with them, but some of the trainings they offer these young children are amazing. But I know in my state's chapter president for, I believe it was last year for Savannah, he actually came from Hugh O'Brien, and he still works with Hugh O'Brien, and just he's brought some of their trainings and things to our state convention. It's just amazing how they get these young leaders involved and just out of their comfort zone to become the leaders and become people like us. And so this is why we partner with them, is that hopefully one day, they graduate high school and then they become of age and they can then join the JCs. It's a very short version, and it's all over the US as well, just like we are. So
thank you, Director Allen. Next up, we have Junior Chamber Youth, also known as JC Youth. As you've joined JCI, you've realized that depending on your chapter, it's either 18 to 40 or 21 to 40. But there are opportunities for younger generation to participate through JC Youth. If you have a sibling or maybe you have a child that you'd like to support their leadership efforts, I believe for JC Youth, chapter would be age 7 to 17. There are some chapters around the country, but if you'd like to start one for your local chapter, please feel free to reach out. We'd be happy to support you through that effort. So there are leadership opportunities, not just for the 18 to 40 through JCI officially, but there are also opportunities for younger generation to gain these leadership skills as well. And then next up, we have Diversity Council, which I know Co-Director Allen was involved with. I'll turn that over to him.
So I was lucky enough to be on the very first year of when the Diversity Council was created, and then carried on to the next year, and then just roles. I had to step away from it a little bit, but they do great things, and they bring awareness to different situations and try to help chapters and members themselves grow personally and professionally as well. And just it's a great organization, and I love this. I say organization, it's part of JCI USA, but I love this program. Just one, the diversity of the council. I mean, you've got people from all walks of life, and that was one thing I enjoyed about it. So yeah, and you can learn a lot individually.
Thank you, Co-Director Allen. Next up, we have our membership coaches. We have revamped the program to make it more supportive and inclusive of the mentorship opportunities that are available throughout the organization. So there are 5 different categories that we are launching. First one is the leadership coaches. These are the coaches that will support chapters and those in formal leadership positions. Next up, we have our individual success coaches. Those are for members who have been around for a while, but could use an extra hand and support in growing through the organization. and learning about the opportunities that are available. Next up, we also have the Glue Up team who can help members with our new membership system. Next up, we have our rewards and recognition team that will look around the organization to see what projects and programs you're putting together and finding ways to recognize you for the efforts that you're putting out there. And last but not least, most relevant to this call, we have our new member coaches. So keep that in mind. If you're looking for another mentor type of person who can be there for you and support your journey as a new member, feel free to let us know. We'll be providing more information later in tonight's session, but do know that there is an opportunity to have a new member coach that'll be by your side to just see you grow and learn and become a better leader with all the opportunities that are available through JCI. So stay tuned. Next up, we do have a handful of upcoming events. First one is actually this month. I believe it's already next week, right? Nashville?
Yes.
Nashville is
yes.
already next week. So we have our national conventions. We have our members from across the nation. We'll get together and then we'll have different training sessions, different programs that we'll put together to really make the most out of your experience as you connect and network with other people. Co-director Allen.
Definitely the networking aspect. This is, I never really visited the national side and didn't know much about it until I knew about it, right? So it was an experience, my very first national convention, and I've been hooked ever since. I'll probably go to these until I'm 90. So if they allow me, they may kick me out. I don't know, but it is absolutely amazing. Just the people you get to meet and the different ideas and the different ways that the people are impactful in their community, things of that nature. It's amazing. I love it.
Yes, adding to co-director Allen, when I first participated in a national event, being from California, I thought JCs was a California thing. But then when I participated at a higher level, I realized JCI is all over the place. And these programs and events, and they just give you opportunities to meet people from across the world. So I encourage you to participate. I know Nashville is next week. However, we do have Minnesota in September. So there is another opportunity for you to meet other JCs from across the country. So stay tuned.
Absolutely.
Next up, for United to Beat Malaria, I will turn that over to co-director Allen, who has the background ready.
I cheated. I seen this beforehand. So I was like, which backdrop do I have that I could use? So United to Beat Malaria was, until last year, was known to be nothing but nets. And it is me personally, I got involved with this because it is a community impact project that is global. And I'm all about helping the community and stuff like that. So when I found out that there's something that I can do that helps and affects everybody globally to make something better, heck yes, sign me up. Where am I at? Where do I go? And so, and it's really a great opportunity. You learn how to advocate, not just for United to Beat Malaria, but it gives you those skills to advocate for anything within this organization, within your personal life, of what you want and how to go about advocating for that for your job. And not to mention, you get to meet your local government, your senators, your House of Representatives, the people that make decisions for your area. You get to go talk to them and build that relationship as well, it's just pretty awesome. And so, yes, if you've never done or been a part of United to Beat Malaria, absolutely. We have they call it Hill Day that's coming up literally the weekend after Nashville. So it is, I will be going to Nashville, and then I will be going to DC to advocate for United to Beat Malaria the following weekend. But there's stuff year long to be a part of United to Beat Malaria. And it was, like I said, it's a great opportunity. So that's another one of our partnerships, which I was over last year as well. So
Thank you, Co-Director Allen. And I do want to say thank you to National President Nate. I know he
Yep.
has to head out, but if there's anything you wanted to, any words you wanted to share before you go?
Just that thank you so much for joining us this evening. Thank you to our MDD, our two MDDs for putting on today's new member orientation. Again, our organization provides so much opportunities for you as members. So I challenge you to all get actively involved. And like I said in the chat, I look forward to hearing some great things from you all this year. So let's hashtag push your potential this year. And I look forward to seeing you all soon. Thank you guys so much for joining.
thank you, sir.
Thank you, National President Nate. Next up, we have TOYA, which is Top Outstanding Young Americans. It will be held in the September convention. So this year it will be in Minnesota. They are very inspirational. That's emphasis for
Remix.
It's the emphasis for how inspirational Toya is. But yes, we honor top outstanding young Americans. We have Elvis, who has been a recipient, JFK, Joe Biden, many leaders who have done great things for our country. We recognize them. It's very inspirational. People do get a little bit teary. I promise I wasn't crying. There's just something in my eye when these events just happen. But they're very inspirational. Co-Director Allen, your thoughts on Toya?
Oh yeah, it's so I did not know much about it until, like, once again I came to a national convention and then continued on my JC career. But yeah, it's the people that you meet within Toya and just the people that are nominated. They're so impactful, and they truly, like you see in these photos. I mean, it's people that have been truly impactful within, just within the USA, and it's amazing that we provide this award to them and we get to celebrate with them at a national convention.
So Toya, 10 outstanding young Americans. And yes, you do get the opportunity to meet with them when you do participate at the national convention. So this year it'll be in Minnesota. We hope to see you there. Looking forward to that. And again, the opportunities to meet JCs from around the country, you'll get that at our national conventions. And next up, North American Academy. Those are leadership development opportunities where you get to see speakers and really challenge your comfort zone in becoming a stronger leader. So typically the agendas are not revealed, and that's by design. They want you to be adaptable to whatever is thrown your way, because as a leader, you succeed when you can handle new challenges that really take you through your comfort zone. So, but North America, I always hear amazing things about that experience. So Co-Director Allen, I see you might have a thought.
I was just going to say, I'm super jealous of anybody that's ever been to North American Academy. This was created after they said I was a leader. And I am so jealous of the people that got to go to this, because I've heard the impactful things that have came from this program. And just, I've seen the leaders, I've seen the byproduct of the people that have went to North American Academy. And it's amazing. So like Jesper said, there's no agenda. You just go and you roll with the punches and you figure it out. And it's amazing. I hear it is, somebody just put literally life-changing. So yes, it is. Super jealous of anybody that's ever went. And then if you have the opportunity to go, I recommend going.
Absolutely. Just adding to what Co-Director Allen said, I just hear so many great things about it. I would have wished I could join when it was first started. And I do see the note from one of our membership coaches, Nick, a legitimately life-changing experience. And I know State President Emily has also participated. So if you get that opportunity, please go. It just makes people into stronger leaders. Such an amazing program. Next up, as a member of JCI, you do get some special membership perks. You can see some on the screen. I will attach a file at the end of the session. So stay tuned. We'll provide more information. So you do get some perks as a member.
And this is for every member, any member that joins the organization. You get these benefits. They do change from time to time, just depending on our agreements with these organizations and companies and stuff. But we try to get the best out of what we can offer our members. And so this is something that a lot of people don't realize that we have. So this is, I love this.
So stay tuned. I will provide more information at the end of the session. So the power of networking. So there is a saying in JCI, we know someone who knows someone who knows someone who can get the job done. And tonight we do want to give you the opportunity to experience that impact and the power of being in the JCI network. So we're going to do a quick activity. I'm going to set everyone into breakout rooms. What I want you to do is, with a sheet of paper, have a pen ready. With the group you have, I want you to write down as many things as you have in common. I want you to keep track of that. So with your group, we're going to do an activity. Keep track of as many things that you have in common. So have a great conversation tonight. When you meet with the group, again, find ways that you have in common. And then while I set up the breakout group, I'll turn it over to Co-Director Allen to lead another discussion.
Really? Okay. To lead another discussion. I thought I was leading a discussion inside the group, but okay.
This was a discussion.
Huh?
That was a discussion.
Oh, yeah, I know. I think I thought you handled it nicely. Okay. So when you're in that group or when you're in your breakout room, just to make sure that you think of, why you joined, and it doesn't have to be JC related, but have it something that's, maybe personal. I mean, that's one thing about the JC is that you connect with all these members and from across the states and across this organization that like I've got a friend of one of my last national conventions. I'm just gonna throw this out there. I'm a dog lover. I love dogs. And at the last convention, I was actually one of my convention gifts, I call it now, because somebody was saying, "Ooh, well, I have a friend has this XYZ dog." And I was like, yes, I would love to have it. Now, I would not have my precious Loki if I did not have that contact with somebody outside, in this organization. So it can be something personable. It can be something JC related. I feel sure people in these breakout rooms are going to have 50 million different walks of life that's in there, because there's a lot of people on this call. I was not expecting this many. I'm excited to see this many, but I was a little shocked. But it's amazing to see. So if you're new to the organization, don't be scared to open up to the people that's in your group and to try to find something that's in common, even if it's not JC related, is what I was getting at. So
thank you, Co-Director Allen. So we'll put 5 minutes for this. Really get to know the other JCs in your group. This is an opportunity to build your network. So let's get started. 5 minutes.
Excuse me. So obviously all members of JCI, JCI USA, all had been chapter presidents at one point or are currently. All have had to run or are currently running projects. I think we all agreed that the youngest members in the chapter who perhaps assumably had the most time are perhaps the strongest resource of the organization. And the other things that we agreed on, that in some cases, awareness and influence might be stronger tools that we have than like money, for instance, because when it comes to enacting change at like a policy level, like let's say, being able to get a hold of your lawmaker, being able to bring awareness and influence and potentially organizing would be our strongest assets, given that we don't have money to lobby for something. So I think we all agreed that a lot of people don't know what they don't know, meaning, I hate to generalize, but young folks might think that they know everything, but they don't know what they don't know until you help enlighten them to learn what they don't know and what they can learn at JCI. I think we all were introduced to it by either a family, friend, or a coworker to JCI. And we've all learned that everything that we've learned in JCI is helpful at some point in life, whether it be the ability to plan, the ability to lead, the ability to speak on any topic at any given time and speak eloquently. The list is unlimited. So that's, I think, our summary.
Excellent. Thank you for sharing, JCI Senator Brandon. Next up, we have Group 2. We have Bubukari, Hafsa, Osmani, Pepe, and Nick. Let's hear from your group.
It's nice to be here. Great to be here. It's my first time to join. One of my coworkers actually invited me here. His name is Mr. Jubert Ong. He just been inducted last week, I think, as president. So great to meet all of you.
Nice to meet you.
Thank you, Pepe. Let's hear from your group. Hafsa, Nick, Osmani, what did you have in common?
Go ahead, Hafsa.
Go ahead. Go ahead.
Okay. So truthfully, we didn't get much past introductions. There were so Hafsa, Bubukari, and Usman are all JCI New York, which was super cool. But I really think that there was beauty in kind of our different stories, showing how that the organization brings us together. And a lot of us have the same reason of making change and community impact. And a couple of us had been around, so some of us had some similarities. Hafsa's been a member for a while, and I kind of grew up in the organization, so we've kind of been around it for a while. But we all had kind of different things in common outside of having 3 members from the same chapter.
Awesome. Thank you, Nick. Hafsa, was there something you wanted to add?
Yeah, just as being member for a long time, but never be active earlier. That's the regret I have, because right now, if it's I have a choice to return back, I will be very active at my young age. That's why I'm always inviting young people to join and try to learn, because yes, I learned with my little experience. Being a JC is the place where you can learn how to be a leader, how you dare to act. That is very, very, very important things to notice, because for me, going and coming back, it's without knowing your purpose, where you are going. It's very important. Thank you.
Thank you, Hafsa. Great point. Next up, we have Group 3. April, Brandon, Tony, Amanda, and Emily. Let's hear what you have in common.
Maybe I was confused. I spoke on behalf of Group 1, and I guess I was supposed to speak on behalf of Group 3.
You're muted, Jesper.
Oh, Brandon, you actually got it right. You're in Group 1. We do have another Brandon for Group 3.
Wow.
Exactly.
And another April.
We have 2 Brandons, but anyways,
wow.
Group 3, April, Brandon, Tony, Amanda, and Emily. What do you have in common?
Brandon, who spoke earlier, was in our group, Jesper. This is Emily. So the other Brandon's group.
I think this is flipping back to Group 1.
Sorry, my bad.
No worries. So our group was a little unique. It seemed like a lot of us were pretty new to JCI through different aspects. I mean, a lot of us, it was recruited from people we know, either worked with or people within our families. And yeah, mostly we just kind of talked about the different things that brought us together with our chapters, and mostly like what we wanted to do with our chapters. Whether I know some mentioned networking, building business relationships, stuff like that. Others mentioned reaching out to the community, helping with elderly homes. Yeah, it was a little bit less about trying to figure out what we have in common and more just what the goals of each chapter were.
Thank you, Brandon. And yes, I just realized I mixed up the two Brandons, and the other Brandon Roque is from my chapter. I should have known better.
Hey man,
Anyways.
it happens. We don't see each other as much as I'd like to.
Thank you, Brandon. Next up, we have group 4. We have Alan, Asmav, and JP. Let's hear what you have in common.
I'm gonna let somebody else go. I don't want to take it.
All right, so during the breakout room, we were super Asma and I were surprised because we were the only 2 members in the breakout room. So we had a quick conversation. So basically, most of our common is, of course, number 1 is the networking. Of course, the passion to serve the community and also individual development. Since also we were joined shortly by co-MGD Alan and also Abigail from Montana.
Yep.
So I guess we were talking about cats as well, being one of the common thing that we have. And of course, we're also one other common is to see each other actually in the national convention in September, and also with the World Congress in November. Unless anybody want to also add on to just like what I said.
And either we all live or have been to the East Coast.
Right.
So we got at least 3 or 4. We got close.
Awesome.
That's the competitive side coming out. Just saying.
Thank you to that group, and thank you everyone for sharing. As you can see, you just experienced part of the JCI network. So feel free to add your new friends online, because networking, especially in JCI, can go a long way. For example, when I traveled to Hawaii, when I traveled to New York, when I traveled to, Florida, Texas, there are JCs that are also available that can show you around, have dinner with, give you a place to stay. There are many opportunities to really, expand and grow through the opportunities in JCI. So continue to network. One more pop quiz. Ooh, another pop quiz. This might be a tough
Another one? Wait, another pop quiz?
Might be another tough one.
Okay.
So everyone get your chat box ready. We got another pop quiz. Question is, how do you get the most out of your membership? Ooh, this one is tough. Is it A, get involved with projects and events? B, be active? C, use all available resources? Or D, all of the above? Co-director Allen, I think no, A is really standing out to me.
I mean, this is what really got me, I would have to say A is what got me to be B, was getting involved with projects and events. Really got me active. And I've lost the other choice. What happened?
There we go.
There we go. Okay, there we go. So, but wow, what's the next option? What's C?
C is, I don't know, that's really getting to me as well.
I mean, resources. Yeah. I mean, yeah, that actually helped me along. Yes, it did.
Yeah, I am seeing Brandon's answer in the chat. He went with E. I'm like, Brandon, tell me what E is. All right, but looking at the
Sorry,
chat,
I'm just messing around there.
I know.
Realistically, I mean, it's D. There's no one JC that's going to be the same as another. Some need resources, some just need to be more active, some just need to get involved with projects. So with your membership, it's kind of at all of the above. Everyone joins for different reasons, and everyone comes together under a common goal that we just want to make the community better and make ourselves better.
Absolutely.
So there we have it. As Brandon mentioned, D, all of the above. And membership coach Nick did bring up an excellent point. Having real conversations about what members want out of their membership and giving it to them. That's how we can get the most and give the most of membership. So great, excellent points. That was a tough quiz.
I know. Oh, it's so tough.
And last but not least, opportunity to request a new membership coach. If you want someone by your side to really point out the opportunities and what's out there, what's available, someone to give you an extra hand, feel free to send us your email address in the chat, or you can just email us directly.
Yep.
Let us know, and then we can set you up with a coach to be by your side. Or if you just want to learn more about the program, let us know as well. Either way, feel free to reach out. And then Co-Director Allen, I'll turn it over to you to add anything else about new member coaches.
I just want to say the new membership coach, I'm excited about that because we're trying to give an extra value to a new member. Strategically, me and MDD, Jesper, and I are going to, if you request a new membership coach, you will not get somebody that is right around the corner from your chapter. It's going to be somebody that's across the state or across the nation from you, because we want you to build those networking opportunities that comes with being with JCI USA. So if you're on the East Coast, you may get somebody from the West Coast. You know what I'm saying? We are strategically going to give you somebody that's not from your area, just so that you can start building that networking community that comes with being a JC.
Absolutely. And I do see that we have some state presidents and chapter presidents on this call. So if you do have new members that would benefit from this opportunity, feel free to reach out to us as well. Again, it's an opportunity for new members to learn about the organization and continue to build that network. So as Alan said, someone from Florida could have a new friend from California, or someone from Texas could have a new friend from New York. So that opportunity is available. And last but not least, any questions?
Love questions. Any questions?
Any questions?
Okay, it's not a question, but I just wanna let you know that we have a potential member in this group, and they will love to hear everything that can bring them, like being a JCI active member.
So not really sure exactly who you're talking about, but the best way I can answer that question is join. You will not know everything that you can get out of this organization until you actually get involved and join the organization. We can try to tell you, we can try to explain it to you, but until you actually experience it, no words can ultimately tell you what being a member actually, what you get out of this organization. So if you're new or you have not yet quite jumped on the bandwagon of being a JC, just join. I'm telling you. Yes, Nick.
So to your point, Alan, a lot of us have had this conversation that you get out of the organization what you put into it, right? A lot of us that have maybe taken a back seat for a little bit and kind of sat back and watched others be involved, haven't always received those benefits. And it's not until you do get involved that you start developing those things, taking part in competitions, chairing a project, learning how to do a project management guide. Those are the things that give you those skills that we gain as JCs, and it is really about getting involved and signing up to be a part of that chapter and being active in that chapter.
Absolutely.
Excellent point. Thank you, membership coach Nick. Any other questions?
Now's the time to ask. I mean, we'll have more of these, but if you got any questions about anything that we talked about tonight, please feel free to ask us.
So in the meantime, as I mentioned earlier, we do have membership perks. I will attach that file to give you a better idea of the discounts you can get as a member.
Okay, well, I don't think we've got any more questions. Well, thank you all for coming tonight. Yes, follow JCI USA on social media at JCI USA. And also I want to throw this little plug out there. If you've done something or you do something that's impactful, or your chapter or your state, or you see somebody that does, please try to tag us on social media, so that we can recognize you and give you the recognition. I mean, this as co-MDD, I'm terrible with acronyms and titles. I really am. Mentioned before, one of our membership teams are the awards and recognitions team. And so what better way for us to really know what you're doing is if you tag us in something that you're doing, so we can actually see it and be a part of it. I mean, that's the beauty of social media, right? Is that you can get to relive it through pictures and videos. So
That's right. Thank you, Co-Director Allen. And with that said, we want to thank everyone. We hope to see everyone in Nashville, or if that's too soon for you, we hope to see everyone in Minnesota in December. Great opportunities to meet more people, great opportunities to see what's available, and more opportunities to grow as a leader. So we hope to see you there. If you have any questions, Co-Director Allen and I will stick around for a few minutes. But besides that, you're more than welcome to go. Feel free to reach out if you need anything. And again, we all thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Okay, thank you.
Thank you again, everyone. Nick, how's Texas?
It's been good. Visited my first chapter here on Saturday. They did a little beer run, 0.5K, down in
New
New
Braunfels.
Braunfels. Yeah, so it was really cool to see. It was good to be able to, start meeting some people around the state. And I'm going to the Rattlesnake Roundup this